Hello and welcome to the 741 channel. Thank you for stopping by. Today we're going to take a look at this bounty hunter metal detector that I recently picked up on Amazon. First up, we'll take it out of the box, then I'll show you how it goes together, and then we'll give it a test and see how it works. If you want to learn more about this metal detector, there is a link to the Amazon product page in the description below. So for the first step in the assembly, I'm going to hold the main body of the unit sort of upside down with this collar facing up. The next thing I'm going to do is rotate this collar fully counterclockwise until it stops. Next up, I'm going to make sure that the cam lock that's inside the tube here is fully flush with the inside edge and not sticking out at all. Next up, I'm going to install the lower stem into the collar. I'm going to push this button in and kind of rotate this around until it finds one of these holes here. I'm going to leave it in the first one for now. And then we'll spin this collar clockwise to tighten it up. So next up on the search coil, we're going to loosen up this fastener and remove it. So now I'm going to install the lower end of the lower shaft into the bracket on the search coil. We'll get the hole in the bracket on the search coil lined up with the hole in the middle of the bracket here, and then reinstall this fastener. Keep in mind this is plastic, so you don't want to over tighten it or you'll strip the threads. Next up, I'll get this rubber band off of the end of the cord here. I'll kind of straighten it out to make sure it's not tangled, and then we'll just kind of wrap it around the shaft here until we work our way up to the main detector head. Okay, now that I've got the cable wound up the main shaft, I'm going to install this plug into this receptacle on the back of the control head. Keep in mind this plug is keyed and will only fit in here one way. So I'm going to throw a couple of 9-volt batteries into the detector here. The battery door is on the back of the head unit here. I don't know if you guys can see this in the camera or not, but in the plastic there's a negative and a positive molded in so you know which way to put the batteries. So they just slide in place. There's no connector or anything to deal with. Just push them in and let them click into place. One other thing to note about this detector is that it does have a 1/4-inch headphone jack here, so if you want to use headphones with it, you can do that. So let's turn the unit on and see what happens. So just a quick overview of the control head here. You can see over on the left there are buttons to increase or decrease the sensitivity, and when you do that you can see that the scale here changes. There's a pointer up here to help you indicate what type of object that you're detecting, and the number here tries to indicate how far down the object is that you've detected. This scale here, of course, is the battery voltage indicator. You can see at this time it's full. This, of course, is the main power button. This is what turns it on and off. And then all of these other buttons, the zap, the discrimination all metal button, the notch button, and the discrimination up and down buttons, I'll cover next. So what we're going to try now is sort of the quick start guide from the manual. We're going to put a few objects down here on the driveway and see if the detector can find them and what they sound like when it does. Okay, so our first object is a standard nail, and you can hear it's got kind of a bass tone when it finds it. Okay, so next up we'll try this pull tab and see what happens. Okay, sort of a higher note this time. Next up, we're going to try a penny. And as you can hear, that's got an even higher tone. Okay, and then last up, we'll try this quarter. Okay. See what it sounds like there. Okay, and as you can hear with the quarter, that's the highest note the detector makes. Next up, we're going to play around with the discriminator. Next up, I'm going to push the disc A/M button, and you can see an R appears. So now if I bring the detector over the nail, you can see that it's not picking it up. But if we try and detect the pull tab, as you can see in here, it's still detecting that. And it should detect the penny and the quarter as well. So if I push the disc AM button again and increment the discrimination up to 2 R's, now we'll filter out the nail and the pull tab, and the penny and the quarter should be detected, and so on and so forth until we get all the way up to the top of the scale. The idea here is to filter out the less precious metals at the bottom, the iron and the aluminum, and focus on the higher metals if that's what you're after. So next up we'll take a look at the notch filter, and this is a way to filter out certain kinds of metal that you're not interested in. So first off, I'll push the notch button and you'll hear the machine beep 3 times. So then we have to move the discrimination arrows up to a certain point on the range to figure out which metal we want to discriminate against, and then push the notch to set that. So in this case, we should be filtering out the zinc. So the notch filter can be set to filter out more than one type of metal by simply hitting the notch filter again once it's set, and then using the discrimination button to move the R up through the scale, and then pushing the notch button to set it. Now you can see that there are 2 R's there, which means that it's going to filter out 2 types of metal. If you want to delete one of the notches, you just simply push the disc AM button and it will remove the last notch that you set, like that, and then pushing it again returns it back to all metal mode and removes this notch. Another way to do a reset is to simply power it off and power it back on, and that'll clear any settings as well. Next up, I'm going to demonstrate the zap feature. Now, first thing I'll mention is that I've got the detector in all metal mode, so no notches or anything are set. And the first thing I'm going to do is detect an object, and in this case, it's going to be the nail here. Okay, now that we've detected an object, I'm going to push the zap button, and that'll automatically filter out the last metal type that was detected. As in this case here, you can see an R has appeared in the first column, which means it should ignore any iron or steel. And as you can see, if I wave it over the nail, it's not finding it. And to reset the machine back into all metal mode, we just push the disc AM button. So now that we've gone through the basic setup with this unit, let's go try and find some metal. So we ended up taking the metal detector out with my in-laws to an old homestead site that used to belong to my mother-in-law's family back in the day. So while exploring the homestead site, we found kind of an area that looked like there may have been some sort of structure there. You'll see in the video that there's a few kind of large piles of stones. I'm not sure if those were part of a foundation or some kind of a structure, but I ended up using my metal detector right in that area and was able to find what you're about to see in the next set of clips.
I have another big piece of bark.
It's a big bar of some kind.
Oh,
I don't know if it's part of a tractor or what.
Axle?
It's flat. Oh, maybe it's part of a wagon wheel.
Oh yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It's like an opening.
Wow, that's
Oh, maybe.
It's big. Ooh, there's still spokes in it.
That's
Or
not
something.
a car tire, is it?
No, I think it's too big. Or something.
Oh, that's
Here, just weird looking.
no. This is a cast.
Is that a legitimate wagon wheel?
It's either a wagon wheel or a truck wheel, like an old truck or a tractor wheel.
Huh.
I'm wondering if it's a tractor
Standing
wheel.
on this.
Maybe the whole truck is there, and the guy's still sitting on it.
Yeah, there's probably a body under here.
Ew.
Well, he'll be happy that we found him.
Holy cow, this goes down far. That is really
It's
wild.
probably the roots that are holding it in place.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a
that's
wagon.
the problem.
It's
This tree right here is grown right over the spokes.
Okay.
It's
Somebody
just
get
gonna
on
break
this.
again.
I can't do it. Somebody.
Okay.
We can cut that.
All right, we got
Hang
it
on.
with that log.
Now we gotta get it off the tree.
Well, we'll just pull it up over the top.
That's a long way.
We got a document.
Climate day.
This is so funny. Oh, you can't stand there. You're gonna go over there because the tree's coming that
Yeah,
way.
let's get this
Which
out of the
way?
then.
Right where you're standing.
What? I thought I was going over there.
No,
Go in front of them then.
it's already bent this way.
All right. I didn't think so.
I thought you were going that.
Go.
I can't.
There you go.
Oh, I ruined it.
What?
I didn't expect it to uproot.
Really?
No.
Not bad.
All right, so now, here we go. No, we don't even have to. We'll just walk it off. Oh, it's heavy. Nope, we're not walking it off.
Is it that heavy?
It's heavy.
Can you do it as a
Let the
team?
tree-
That's
oh,
why
you're
I don't know if we
pushing
can
down
get it
on
back.
Let the tree up a little. Oh, it's
Oh, there you go. All the way, guys.
Well, I had a tree in the way.
That's a long way to go.
Hey, look, push down on the
filming
end of the
this?
tree.
Yeah, unfortunately. Good job, Luke.
Move your foot. Move your foot.
Just don't fling that thing back and it'll whack me in the head. And mommy.
Yeah, I was walking behind it.
Hold it where it is.
Alright, just careful when you let it go. Make sure there's no one behind you. Yeah.
Okay. It's free.
Nice. Wow. Good job, guys.
Sorry, tree, but.
Hey,
Gross.
really?
Okay, so there you have it. You saw that we were able to find that old wheel. And after doing a little bit of research, it looks like that wheel was probably from an old horse-drawn field mower of some kind that was probably attached to a sickle bar or something along those lines. Now, it was kind of a neat find in so much as that not only is it a kind of a neat old farm artifact, but it was probably used by somebody in my mother-in-law's family back in the day and was probably just left there. So it was kind of cool to resurrect a little piece of the family history. So anyway, if I had to guess, that thing probably weighed a good 75 to 100 pounds. I'm not sure. I was able to lift it by myself. We ended up wheeling it out of the woods and up a dirt road, probably close to a mile. But we got it out to the car and we brought it home, and my mother-in-law has now cleaned it up and put it in her garden as sort of a family heirloom. That's pretty much going to wrap things up for the Bounty Hunter 2200 metal detector. If you want to learn more about this metal detector, there's a link to the Amazon product page in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to leave a comment or subscribe, feel free to do that as well. And if you'd like to support my channel in another way, please consider visiting my Amazon store, which you'll find linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.